Have you ever noticed how one single text message can completely change your mood? One good morning, and suddenly you're productive, smiling, ready to conquer life. One scene, without a reply, and boom, your brain starts acting like it's the end of the world. That's not romance, that's withdrawal. Welcome to the addiction called love. Now, relax. I'm not here to say love is bad or that you should delete all dating apps and move to the mountains. Love is beautiful, but sometimes love behaves exactly like an addiction, and most of us don't even realize we're hooked. Think about it. When someone you like gives you attention, your brain throws a party. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, all the feel-good chemicals start dancing like it's New Year's Eve. You feel special, chosen, alive. But when that attention disappears, your brain panics. Suddenly, you're checking your phone every 2 minutes. You replay old conversations like a Netflix series you've already watched 10 times. You overanalyze everything. Why did they say okay instead of okay? Why did they use a full stop? Why didn't they use an emoji today? Are they mad? Are they bored? Are they talking to someone else? Am I about to be emotionally replaced? Congratulations, you're not crazy. You're just experiencing love like a chemical habit. Here's the funny part. We laugh at people who are addicted to coffee. Don't talk to me before my morning coffee. But emotionally, many of us are walking around saying, don't talk to me until they text me back. And the brain doesn't really know the difference. Love addiction doesn't start with obsession. It starts with hope. Feels innocent. Maybe this will work. Maybe this person is different. Maybe this time I won't get hurt. Hope turns into attachment. Attachment turns into expectation. And exhortation turns into suffering. You start needing love instead of enjoying it. You stop asking, do I like them? And start asking, do they like me? That's the shift where things get dangerous. Let's be honest. For a second, how many times have you stayed in a situation that made you unhappy? Just because leaving felt worse. You knew the relationship wasn't healthy. You knew the conversations were dry. You knew you were giving more than you were receiving. But the thought of losing them felt unbearable. Not because they were perfect, but because your brain was used to them. That's addiction logic. The brain says, I know this hurts, but at least it's familiar. Love addiction doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human. Our brains are literally designed to bond. Thousands of years ago, being connected meant survival. Being rejected meant danger. So when someone pulls away, your nervous system doesn't think, oh, okay, this is just a dating situation. It thinks, emergency, threat detected, do something. So you text again. You explain more. You lower your standards. You say things like, it's okay, I understand, when deep down, you don't. And here's where it gets interesting. Love addiction doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes, it looks very normal. It looks like waiting for someone who's busy. It looks like accepting breadcrumbs and calling it effort. It looks like saying they're not good at expressing emotions, when actually, they're just not that invested. And your brain keeps justifying it, because it wants its next emotional hit. Think of it like this. Imagine a vending machine that gives you chocolate only once in a while. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But when it does, best chocolate of your life, you wouldn't walk away. You'd keep pressing the button. That's intermittent reward, the most addictive system there is. And many relationships work exactly like that. One day, they're warm. Next day, they're distant. Then suddenly affectionate again. Your brain gets confused. Confusion creates obsession. You're not addicted to the person. You're addicted to the emotional roller coaster. That's why calm, healthy love sometimes feels boring at first. No anxiety, no overthink, no emotional chaos. Your brain says, where's the drama? Where's the chase? Where's the adrenaline? Because chaos feels familiar when you've been addicted to it. Now, let's add some humor here. Ever noticed how when you're single and peaceful, you sleep like a baby? Then, you start liking someone, and suddenly, you're awake at 2:47 a.m., thinking about a message from 3 days ago. Love turns normal people into detectives. You become an expert in tone analysis. You can tell the difference between whom and whom. You notice when they view your story but don't like it. You notice when they like it but don't reply. You notice everything, but somehow you stop noticing yourself. You stop asking, am I happy? Do I feel safe? Do I feel respected? Because addiction shifts your focus outward. Here's the truth most people don't tell you. Love addiction is not about love. It's about emptiness. When you don't feel complete on your own, love becomes medicine. And medicine, taken without balance, becomes a drug. You start using another person to regulate your emotions. Feeling lonely, text them. Feeling insecure, wait for their validation. Feeling lost, make them your purpose. And that's too much power to give to anyone. Because no human can carry the responsibility of being your happiness. That's where disappointment begins. And yet, breaking this addiction is not about becoming cold or emotionless. It's about learning the difference between love and need. Love says, I choose you. Addiction says, I can't function without you. Love adds to your life. Addiction replaces your life. So how do you know if you're loving or addicted? Ask yourself simple questions. Do you feel calm around this person or constantly anxious? Do you feel free to be yourself or afraid to say the wrong thing? Do you feel valued or are you always trying to prove your worth? Love doesn't make you smaller. Addiction does. Love doesn't make you beg. Addiction does. And here's the part that hurts a little, but heals a lot. Sometimes we don't miss the person. We miss how they made us feel about ourselves. Seen, wanted, special. But those feelings didn't come from them alone. They came from inside you, which means you can create them again, without chasing, without begging, without losing yourself. The moment you start building a life you enjoy, friendships, you stop settling for less, because you're no longer afraid of being alone. And ironically, that's when the healthiest love shows up. Not intense, not dramatic, but steady, faith, real. The kind of love that doesn't keep you awake at night, wondering where you stand. The kind that doesn't feel like a withdrawal symptom when it's quiet. So if you've ever felt addicted to love, don't judge yourself. You weren't weak. You were just searching for connection. The goal isn't to stop loving deeply. The goal is to stop losing yourself while doing it. Because real love should feel like home, not like a casino where you keep gambling your self-worth, hoping this time you'll win. And if this hit a little too close to home, take it as a sign, not to run from love, but to finally choose yourself first.